Greetings, citizens of the United States and from all over our world. We are anonymous. It has come to our attention that some of you have watched a video claiming to be from Anonymous. The video in question refers to a man claiming to be the real voice of Anonymous and claims to be the only true representative of the collective. This video goes on to discredit any anonymous video not attributed to the Humanity Party. This group of so-called Anons promote the group as being the true voice of the people. Actually, the video represents a small group of brainwashed cult followers who are tied to a man by the name of Christopher Mark Nemelka. This con man, and all who represent him are not of Anonymous, and do not represent the Anonymous collective. We of Anonymous denounce the Humanity Party and everything it stands for. We denounce this man's attempt to hijack the Anonymous icon to promote his own form of twisted religious doctrine onto the rest of the world as a form of real truth. Having said that, let us introduce you to the man behind the mask, and expose the fraud who is Christopher Mark Nemelka. Christopher Mark Nemelka, born December 2, 1961. Grew up in the state of Utah where he graduated high school from West High School, SLC, Utah in 1980. Nemelka goes on to enter the Missionary Training Center in Bravo, Utah. He goes on a 2-year Spanish-speaking mission to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Just 16 months into his mission, Nemelka loses sight of his objective and becomes involved with an underage girl. Nemelka seduced the 15-year-old girl with promises of a better life for the both of them back in the United States. Nemelka ended up fathering a child with the teenage girl, and after only a few short months of parenthood, abandoned both of them after returning to the United States. Here is a quote from his own 2002 autobiography. A few years after my mission, rumors began to fly within my family that I had committed a grave sin as a missionary, and even that I had fathered a child while in Argentina. Like most of the rumors that have been perpetuated against me by unscrupulous individuals that never take the time to ask me or investigate the truth, this rumor was completely false. I did nothing more than kiss and hold that young girl. The thing that I did that was the most damaging while on my mission was to make that poor, young Argentinian fall in love with me, promise her I would bring her to the United States, and then reject her when I was back at home. After returning to the United States, Nemelka is hired as an entry-level security guard for LDS Church on Temple Square, SLC, Utah. Nemelka goes on to father many more children and divorce many more women throughout the years to come, leaving them penniless and broke. All the while moving from state to state to avoid paying child support. Some women even claiming not to trust Nemelka around their children. Perhaps it's because Nemelka has a past full of abusing women who don't listen to his message of so-called truth and wisdom. Or, perhaps it's the uneasy feeling they get when they witness their child being held by a deranged psychopath. Aside from Nemelka's polygamist ways, he was charged with kidnapping and failure to pay child support to his ex-wives. Nemelka, who routinely avoided court proceedings and bench warrants by moving to other states and obtaining fake identification to hide from the authorities. Nemelka was arrested and sentenced to 1 month behind bars following the abduction of one of his 2 children from the Montana's Division of Family Services. After 2 months of hiding in Oregon, Idaho and Utah, Nemelka claimed he was tired of the fugitive life and decided to turn himself in. This is where the story gets a little weird, but sheds some light on who we are dealing with here. In August 1992, Nemelka's family tries unsuccessfully to have him committed to a mental health facility. Later that following year, Nemelka goes on to start writing several books, starting with the sealed portion, version 1, and presents it to some Church of Latter-day Saints fundamentalist groups. Nemelka goes on to describe, in his own words, his plan to manipulate Mormons. At this point I have learned through research and study that the Book of Mormon, the Bible, the Quran and many other religious works were works of man to control the minds of the masses who aren't as smart as the authors were. I knew I was smart. So why not create my own scripture? I realized how easily men and women were manipulated and deceived. I decided to take off where Joseph Smith left off and bring about the sealed portion of the gold plates which Joseph was forbidden to bring forth when he claimed to have the gold plates in 1827. Along with my scripture writing, which was quite amazing and fooled a lot of people, I decided to enter the realm of plural marriage. Why not? My present wife still had a testimony of Joseph Smith, and as long as she thought he was a prophet, I could do the things which he did and justify them as being the things which God would have me do. I soon found myself taking another wife. The only place one can find a bunch of women who believe in plural marriages within the secret societies of Mormon fundamentalism. He writes and distributes Human Reality, his own atheist publication for his ministry to pull people away from their belief in God. Nemelka teaches atheism, in an attempt to get people out of the church. Nemelka was later excommunicated from the church. In August 1996, Nemelka was interviewed by a reporter. He confessed his plan to use his fraudulent sealed portion to deceive Mormons, to defraud the church, and to teach them a lesson. He explained his hatred for the Mormon church, and his intention to deceive and defraud Mormons. Allegations soon arose of sexual misconduct involving Nemelka and a minor, the daughter of Vicky Prudy. Prudy was not only Nemelka's girlfriend at the time but was a newfound supporter of Nemelka's teachings. Nemelka writes scathing to Vicky Prudy, where he describes her concern regarding child molestation, admits to punching holes in walls, lies about his criminal record for kidnapping being expunged, and tells her why she is lucky that she was only shoved. March 16, 2001. After refusing to take a court-ordered psychological examination related to violation of a protective order, Nemelka is sentenced to 1 year in the Salt Lake County Jail. Judge reconfirms that he is to have no good time, but will serve his entire sentence, as previously ordered, with no good time credit. June 8, 2001. Domestic violence issue. Court orders Nemelka to receive mental health evaluation while in jail. November 2001. Nemelka was mistakenly let out of jail early on good behavior. Nemelka is later rearrested. In the years to follow, Nemelka goes on to write more books aimed at convincing, mainly young women, to leave their religious faith, give up all worldly possessions and join Nemelka's distorted vision of a new world order. Nemelka's trail of destruction is not limited to his failure as a father to his numerous children, but goes to show the character of a psychotic man who believes to have had regular conversations with Jesus Christ himself. The Orem, Utah Police Department states that Nemelka is known to law enforcement, is psychologically unstable, and has done this to people before. Nemelka persuades those who follow him to send him money so he can do God's work. Such work includes buying several houses and mobile homes at a cheap price and then selling them at a marked up rate to those who work for him. Taking lavish vacation cruises with his wife at the expense of those who believe the money is going to a good cause. Not to mention conning elderly people out of their life savings, having them leave their entire inheritances to Nemelka, while leaving the deceased's family members with nothing. Nemelka has a diseased mind that can never be rehabilitated. Hijacking another person's identity is second nature for Christopher Nemelka. He is currently being sued in an Ohio courtroom for identity theft and malicious slander, for allegedly posing as a popular LDS blogger. Having gained very little traction selling his fictitious books and failed to acquire any new members to fund his criminal activities, Nemelka decided to take his religious doctrine and use it to create what is now known as the Humanity Party. The Humanity Party claims they have all the solutions to the world's problems, but Nemelka has tried this before, posing as the spokesperson for the Worldwide United Foundation. His so-called solutions then are the same old solutions now. The only difference now is the name, the Humanity Party. This so-called party is run by a horde of brainwashed and disillusioned Bibleheads who claim to be anonymous. They spread the Humanity Party's message like a virus, infecting anyone who watches their videos. They do this for a man who claims to be a self-proclaimed prophet. They believe he is their own personal Jesus. These brainwashed individuals fund Nemelka's daily operations through the Marvelous Work and the Wonder, a website dedicated to Nemelka himself. This site promotes his books and claims that all who read them will miraculously find the solutions to their life's problems. Nothing could be further from the truth. This con man's attempt at hijacking the anonymous icons and ideas for attention and notoriety has come to an end. This is where Anonymous draws the line, and says, Christopher, Mark, Nemelka, you cannot hide. The internet is our home and you're just an unwelcome guest in it. We will systematically shut down all of your websites, starting with Vote Anonymous 2016. This website was never a part of Anonymous. Let this serve as a warning to you. You have no claim to the anonymous name. No one does. Christopher Nemelka, you claim you're an actor, so don't act surprised when you can't access your social media accounts and your precious websites. There is no escape. This is a call to action for all anonymous members. DDoS details in the description below. Operation OpCrushThump. Engaged. Nemelka, you call yourself the true messenger. Well, here's a message from Anonymous. Expect us.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hello, my name is Christopher, and I want to welcome you to the official website of the Worldwide United Foundation. Throughout the history of our world, we've been driven incessantly to find peace and happiness. Our inability to establish ourselves as a peaceful and equal human race has never negated the fact that we all desire to live in comfort and peace with one another. There's been no government, no religion, nor group of individuals that has yet to find the cure for the poverty and inequality that are rampant in our world. Millions of our fellow human beings suffer each day from our inability to find a solution to a human problem that has destroyed peace and mocked human decency for centuries. There is only one solution to the problem, and the Worldwide United Foundation has found this solution. We, the people, must unite and demand change from those we have placed in positions of power over us, those who create, manage, and control our shared economies. When we are divided into different groups, we will never have the power to address this problem. We must unite together and transcend race, religion, nationality, political affiliations, and our own pride and egos in order to address the problem properly. The Worldwide United Foundation has found the only solution to the problem that will succeed, but it cannot be implemented without your help and involvement. Other foundations seek monetary donations to solve the problem. This approach has never worked. It is not the approach of the Worldwide United Foundation. We want you to join with us. Register to vote in your own country and demonstrate to the political powers already established a solidarity as human beings, one of strength and resolve to eliminate poverty and inequality among us. Once we've amassed the majority of our fellow human beings, by the sheer number of our united voices, we will mandate the correct policies and laws needed to accomplish our goal. Our governments exist because we allow them to. We have every right to dictate to the governments that we support which laws we desire that will create worldwide equality and peace among us. Take a few minutes to review our website to understand how this plan can succeed. Please join with us in this monumental effort, and may there truly be no poor among us.
Technology has driven our world to a drastic state of vulnerability. With the proliferation of government and corporate surveillance, personal information is targeted and tracked with unimaginable reach. But in this age of rapidly eroding privacy, there are some who have dedicated themselves to the effacement of the digital self. They are the self-appointed guardians of internet morality, executing aggressive campaigns for social justice by the power of the crowd. They are a screaming cry for reform to the complacent, and a flaming light of revelation to the covert. While they demand transparency of government and corporate institutions, they themselves remain hidden in the shadows of the cyber world. Utilizing the digital screen as a mask, they possess an unbridled authority and instant escape from jeopardy. They possess anonymity.
We are anonymous. We are legion.
Anonymous has no who. It exists not as a group, but a movement, aspiring to the most honest definition of a leaderless organization. Renouncing all individual recognition, Anonymous promotes the anti-celebrity with strict devotion only to its ideology. Allowing anyone to call its name, Anonymous is dynamic in its portrayal. This is their strength, and this is their fault. The actions of Anonymous fall between the cracks of cyber warfare and political advocacy, manifesting as unstoppable cyber infiltrations with intent to dissuade and cripple targeted organizations. Anonymous thrives in the era of hacktivism. Riding the line between rational and reckless, legal and illegal, these acts of cyber vandalism often expose where authority falls short and fails to act. Anonymous is reactive and adaptable, riding the wings of current events with vigilance and poised to strike. Anonymous is more powerful and relevant than ever. For this force, the voice of none is stronger than the voice of one.